Hey everybody, it's Patrick from Stories from the Signal here. I was out detecting this weekend with some friends. We were out for a little bit on Sunday afternoon in a river that was heavily trafficked by tubers. Had to be hundreds of tubers going past us. There was a couple of organizations there that were offering services, transports and the tubes and whatnot. So there was a lot of activity. There was definitely a lot of lost items. We were hoping to find some rings is what we were really going there for, but you never know what you're gonna find. I did find a Civil War bullet. That was pretty super exciting. And I found a beat up old cell phone. And I believe in total, I was only there one day, but my friends had gone the day before. I believe in total there was 6 phones found, probably mostly in bad shape. But towards the end of the day, I did find this phone right here. Now this one seems to be in fairly good shape. Now you can definitely tell there's a lot of algae growth on this. I don't know how long this was lost for. I believe this is one of the newer iPhones. I believe it's one of the newer iPhones. I think the 14 model. But you could see it was down there long enough to start getting some growth on it. Now when I pulled it out, this is exactly how I pulled it out. It does need to be cleaned up a little bit, and I am super excited to see if this thing is going to work. Now I did a little research on them, and they're described as water resistant. Supposedly they're supposed to keep water out for up to 30 minutes if it's at a depth of, I forget exactly, like 19 feet or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but this was obviously in the river much longer than 30 minutes. And so, but it wasn't very deep. I found it maybe in a foot or two of water. So, maybe at times it was under more water if it was a little bit low when we were there. But it certainly wasn't to the depth that they were talking about. So now I'm a little interested in maybe trying to peel this case off, and it's coming off rather easily. And yeah, I mean, you could see the back here where there was the case protecting it was in pretty good shape. There's a little residual moisture in there. So I've had this, I pulled it out of the stream yesterday, so it hasn't been out quite a full day yet. But if it is truly water resistant enough to keep water out, maybe it's in good shape. Now it feels, it's hard to say, I'll have to compare it to my phone. It feels a little heavy, so maybe it is waterlogged. I'm not getting any kind of water coming out of where the speakers are down here and the mic. So who knows? I'm gonna clean it up a little bit first here when I try to clean out a little bit of the connector there where you put the phone charger in. And I don't know, we're gonna give it a try and see if we can get this thing fired up. So give me a minute to get it cleaned up a little bit, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got this cleaned up about as good as I could with, it looks like it's pretty good there, about as good as I could with a little bit of Windex and on a Q-tip just to kind of break up some of that algae. Did a quick wipe on the screen. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work on it. There's, a bunch of algae kind of stuck in there and some dirt around the camera there and all, but this is the moment of truth here. Hopefully sparks aren't gonna fly when I do this. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen here, but let me get this charger here my wife has nicely organized and tied up. I'll have to remember to put that back in its little twist tie there. So yeah, hopefully this isn't gonna explode up here any, but we'll see. All right, so it went in kind of nicely. So there we go. Let's see the moment of truth here. All right, so I plugged this in, and would you look at that? Yeah! That is a very good sign. Indeed. That right there
I think means that this thing is functioning. Now, whether it's fully functioning, it's a different story, but yeah, that is super exciting. Let's let this thing get charged up enough. I think I mean, you could tell it's 100% depleted there. So it might take a little while before I'm able to turn it on there. Let me give it a couple minutes and see if we can get to the startup screen. Now, I'm positive this thing is going to be locked on me, obviously, because it's going to be password protected for whoever lost it. But if I can maybe get this cleaned up a little bit more and we can see it functioning, we might be able to find a way to return this to its owner. Sure, they would have gotten a new phone by the time they lost this, but they probably would have had to pay for it and wouldn't mind getting this back so that they could recoup some of the money that they lost. So I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that, quite frankly. I might have to take it into a phone service provider and see if they can track down whoever lost this. We'll see, but that is super exciting. So let's get this charged up and we'll take it from there. All right. It looks like we got past the little charge screen there because it was fully down, and we are now running. Let me see about this here. Oh yeah. It needs to be charged, but we are good to go. Somebody has a nice little screen on there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to get into the passcode here. So, again, I'm not sure what to do with this. I'm going to have to take it to a store and figure out how we can find the owner on it. But this thing is working, and I'm so excited.